Hello and welcome to BuildCraft 6. This is my first BuildCraft video I have ever done, but the mod has been around for a really long time. I think it's one of the first tech mods that came to Minecraft, but since it's very old, it has gone through a lot of changes. It's both being maintained, so some of the core features from the past are still there, but there are still updates coming to it. And for example, one of the updates is that the energy system now is RF per tick instead of MJ per tick. So that's one of the reasons why I looked into the mod again, and I felt that quite a lot has happened since I looked at it a few years ago actually. So it's well worth doing a new updated tutorial on it. So let's start with to go through some of the general BuildCraft items. As you might know, the mod is divided into different sections, and as you can see, there are different tabs. In this video I will go through some general BuildCraft items, the energy system, and some factory items and blocks. And everything starts here. The wrench will be used from time to time, stone gear and iron ingots. This will be used to rotate pipes and doing some various interactions with some blocks. So you will use one, you will need one, so just make it. Then we have a lot of gears. We have wood, stone, iron, gold and diamond. So these are used only as crafting items. They are never used alone. So let's grab everything. Wood gears, crafted with sticks. Stone gears, wood gears and cobblestone. Iron gears, stone gears and iron ingots. Gold gear, gold ingots around iron gears. And finally the diamond gear, diamonds around gold gears. So now we have all of them. Let's move on to the chute. Now this is actually, I guess you could say this is the hopper's origin. The Minecraft hopper didn't exist when this hopper did, and now it's renamed to chute. So let's grab a few and have some chests, and I will demonstrate it. So the chute works very similarly as the hopper do. So if I place a chest and then I place a chute above it and I put some gears in it, as you can see they end up here. And you also might have noticed that it was really fast compared to the standard hopper, so that's a big difference. However, the normal hopper can attach to a side, the chute can not. It can only attach to the top side. And another difference is that if I place items in here, they will not be sucked out, but in a normal hopper they will. So basically it's up to you what kind of functionality you need and how much material you want to spend on it. It is faster, so sometimes it can actually be a better choice than the hopper. Okay, next item up we have the auto workbench. This is an automatic workbench, but you can use it as a normal workbench. As you can see here, I had items in it and I can walk away and come back and everything is still there. Now this is formed as a recipe. It will craft the auto workbench itself, and now I can click to craft this workbench. It's very slow, so it will never replace the other workbenches, but it has some more important functionality that I will demonstrate now. In this workbench I have sticks to make a gear, if I place a lot of sticks in it, they will, yeah, they will balance. As you can see, they are dropped down into the auto workbench, and you can see they are balanced out, so they are even. And now it will automatically craft wooden gears continuously. It will do so until only one remains, so it will never use up the recipe, so to say, unless you manually click the crafting button. So here we can have throw in some planks, and here this one will craft the vanilla crafting table. And they are set out with hoppers and placed into this one. So here you can see that the wood gears and the crafting tables end up, and as soon as we get one final wood gear down here, the auto workbench will begin to craft. So you can set up quite a lot of these to have some complicated or very basic auto crafting systems, but the feed up there is kind of manual in my case. So that covers the basic blocks. Now it's time to go into power. The first engine we have is the Redstone Engine, crafted with wooden gears and pistons and glass and planks. So this recipe is the same for all, however there are slight changes to it. We'll see that down the line. The Redstone Engine will not give you any power. It used to do that in the old BuildCraft, a long time ago at least. You could get some real small amount of power from it, but at least that's not the case at the moment. It is more used to extract items and provide that kind of functionality. We'll take a look at a really good example over there. So just remember for the moment that it's not used to get power. To do that, we have the Sterling Engine, crafted with stone gears and cobblestone. And I have now connected, yeah, you can see these are from thermal expansion, but I have connected examples of how much power you'll get from different inputs. You feed these with anything that burns, basically. So sticks, wood, charcoal or coal, block of coal. And here I did a test to see, well, we can take some sticks. Can I have? Yeah, 4 of these, good. 8 sticks were inserted and we got 8,000 RF. So if I just throw them in here and I throw the lever on, they will start to burn. And with 4 more sticks we should end up with, well, what did I say? We had 8,000, so we should get 12,000 when all these are done. 1 wood gave me 3,000 RF, so it's better to make sticks. 1 coal or charcoal gives 16,000, so it can be quite worth to change them into that. And 1 block of coal gave me 160,000, so that's 10 times the coal, although it just requires 9 to craft, so that could also be an idea. So now we can see that this one is complete and we got 12,000 as expected, so 1,000 per stick. So, but this is not perhaps the best engine. It can be used for various, of course it has some use, but if you want more power you will have to use the combustion engine, crafted with iron as a base, and you will need liquid to power it, to fuel it. So here I did 3 tests with lava, oil and fuel, since they are in standard or standalone BuildCraft. They are basically what you have to fire them with. So as you can see here, using lava you will get 20 RF per tick, using oil will give you 30 RF per tick, and if you have refined the oil to fuel it will burn with 60 RF per tick. So the lava gave me 120,000 RF, oil gave me 150, and fuel gave me 1.5 million. Yeah, so a lot of punch in the fuel, probably worth doing so. But as you can see in here, if you take a look in the combustion engine interface, there are two tanks in here. So one is for fuel, as you can see here, we have lava. One is for, and the other one is for water. You don't need water. So if I turn these on, all three, they will start to burn and they will output everything that I said before, 20, 30 or 60. But they will also generate heat. And to keep the engine cool, we need to insert water. Now, here we are, this temperature rise is quite slow, 22 only, 22.5. The fuel is already at 28. And when we pass 100 degrees Celsius, then our water consumption will really be noticeable. So if I don't have water in here at 100 degrees, this will get really hot. And I don't know the exact number when doing this, but when it gets too hot, I think it's around 200, 250, then it will explode. So you can run it like this, and I think both lava and oil will burn one bucket without any issues with heat whatsoever. So that's quite okay. But with fuel you will quickly reach 100 degrees and continue to climb if you don't have water in it. We will take another look at how that looks as in my last example. So I better turn this one off or it will it will actually explode. So let's move on. Now when we know how to get power, let's take a look at how we can use it. The first use could be a mining well, crafted with iron pickaxe and gear and ingots. Now this will dig straight down for us. Here I've done it already once, so, and here I have a Stirling engine with some coal, so let's turn it on. It will generate 10 RF per tick. And this will make the mining well go slowly down, one block at a time, and its output will be in a chest above it. Of course you can use pipes or other means to transport items away from it, but it will be output on the top. That's the main point. So it's digging down slowly but steady. Now you don't have to use a Stirling engine or any engine at all connected to it. You can use other mods or just some or connect power from a distance. So here we have a really powerful energy cell, the top tier, and it will output a lot of RF. So if I turn this switch, and there we are at the bottom. This one is still struggling, and we got everything here. And here we get some iron as well, so that's nice. Now when it's finished, you will have to manually move it or use other mods to move it for you, but you will still will need to move it one block to dig in the next spot. So the next item to take a look at to get resources is the quarry. Now this requires diamond gears and gold gears and a diamond pickaxe and everything, so you will have a quarry. Now this is more advanced and of course much more powerful way to mine than a mining well. And I will also craft me a few landmarks. Now we will take a look at these probably when we go through the BuildCraft builders mod part. But let's take these three and I will demonstrate them quickly. So say I will want to use the quarry in this area. I can place it directly, just place it down, but that will give me like the standard measure. Let's see if I can do that. Like this, but I can't choose myself. So just let me break this. Okay, now let's take a look at how we can do it in a much better way. Place the landmark, give it a redstone signal. Now this will send, I think it's 64 blocks in each direction. And if you can actually make the quarry larger than 64 blocks, at least it used to be able to do that, but 64 is a quite nice size for a quarry. So what this means is that you have to run all the way over there and place another landmark over there and also over there. But I will actually settle with placing it over here. And of course you can use a landmark to just, you don't have to use it for a quarry, you can just use it to keep a straight line when building. And yeah, let's see, over there. Now when I've marked my area, I only need 3. Right click the landmark and I will get this laser marked area. Now let's place the quarry here and see how that looks. Now you can see it followed exactly the outline that I marked with the landmarks. And so this will be the area that the quarry will use. Now I already had some power over there, so let's just turn it on. I have some power behind this wall. Now it will clean the area. You can see it where some leaves were inside this designated area. And now it will mine for you. It's quite intelligent, so it will move up and down if new blocks are placed, and it will do a good job of mining for you. Here you can see that it didn't even go over there. So it's a smart mining system, but it consumes a lot of current, or yeah, power, RF. And down in here in the chest we get all the items, and you'll probably need to have this connected to some sorting. Well, let's turn the power off. It has some internal buffer, so in just a little while it will stop. Okay, let's move on now when we know how to get a lot of items and how to use the power we're creating. Let's take a look at fluids. First of all, we have the tank. Glass blocks in a square, perfect. Now, we have 2 liquid machines. We have first of all, I will go through the pump, crafted with a mining well and a tank. So with a pump, you will pump up items, not items, liquids from beneath. So if I just place it here next to the Stirling engine, it will detect that it has some water below, and perhaps now in this case we have some 9 buckets of oil. So let's place a tank on top and hit that lever. This will pump up oil, and since oil is not, you can never have an infinite oil source as we can with the water, as I have over there, it will be drained. And here we can see 9,000 out of 16,000 millibuckets, so 9 buckets of oil. That is splendid. Next, we can take a look at the floodgate. And the floodgate is actually, it's the opposite of of the pump. So let me just break this pump, we don't need it anymore. And let's take a look at the floodgate instead. Okay, so now we connected the floodgate via some fluid pipes. So now we'll extract the oil from the tank down to the floodgate, and it will fill all the input liquid to everything beneath and at the same level. Now we only had 9 buckets, so it should only fill up all these 9. But if we had more, it will start to flow out on this side, and that will actually create quite a mess. So let's take a look at how this will turn out. And that's the final part, and now we have recreated everything. Now, how would this look if you had water, for example? Water could be an infinite water source, as you have over here, a 3x3. It will always refill the part being used, and you can pump that into a floodgate. So let's take a look how that looks. So over here I have prepared this this area where we can keep the water contained, and I have a creative, let's see if I can reach it, a creative portable tank. So this will constantly feed water out of it. It will never be empty, and the floodgate will just keep on pumping out that water. And as I said, this will not only work one block below, but also on the same block level. So when it's finished with this height, it will just keep on working at the same level, and then it will stop. So now we've filled that final part, those final parts in there, it should continue. And here we can see in the final part of that demonstration the same level fill out. So if you want to build a swimming pool, this is the perfect tool to use. Okay, that's a good demonstration. Now let's get back to the rest of the items. So now we know how to get all these liquids, lava, oil, and everything. But I talked about fuel earlier, so now let's go through how to make fuel. To do that, we need the refinery. Diamond gear, tanks, redstone torch. And now let's take a look at how it works. Here I have oil. Now we will pump the oil into the refinery, and you will see that it starts to fill up in the internal tanks. Over here is one, and one on the other side. Now here I have some oil in a combustion engine. So now let's start to process it. Here you can see the color on these two. They are blue and they are moving quite slowly. They can be blinking red and they can be green. This means that they are not working as well as it could. It could be faster, but it will still create fuel. You can see the yellow stuff down here. So this is slowly but surely creating fuel for us, and we could of course use the fuel later in that combustion engine. So now I just pump it into this tank, and I could use it up here instead. So a very simple way to create fuel out of oil, and I think it's quite worth it, since you perhaps remember how much power you get from one bucket of fuel compared to just one bucket of oil. So, and to pump these, I used wooden fluid pipes, and over here I had one cobblestone fluid pipe. I won't go through the pipes in detail, but just quickly craft a normal wooden transport pipe. Put some cactus in the furnace to get cactus green, convert the cactus green to pipe sealant and use it on the wooden transport pipe, and this will give you the wooden fluid pipe. It's the same recipe for well, it's the same principle for all the other types of pipes, but I won't go through them in this video. Instead, I will just show you one final example of how to use everything I've gone through. I have oil. This is basically just a bigger example of this setup. You can see the heat is starting to build up, but it will never pass 100. So let's see if we can turn these on. Let's see, 1 and 2. So combustion engines are running. They are filled with fuel and water. The refinery gets power from the combustion engines, and these engines also should send some energy over to this pump. They'll pump up water and feed into the combustion engines to keep them from exploding. The refinery will use the oil inside, craft fuel, and here you can see the one I'm talking about, what I talked about earlier. The green symbol means running at full speed. So the fuel is being pumped out from the refinery up to the combustion engines, both of them. So this is filled up completely, and this will soon be filled up, and the rest will be sent to this tank. So this is the leftover after using some of it to create the fuel. And this water source will never drain, since it will refill the block that is being pumped up every time. So with that example, I feel quite finished with this first BuildCraft 6 mod tutorial. We have gone through power, basic items, liquids, mining, and I think this is a good starting point to move on with the other parts, but they will be in separate videos, probably all of them. So take a look in the video description for more information about that, and I hope to see you in one of them. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.